You may come out to vote every 4 years because, yeah, choosing a president is important. But do you vote in the midterms, when almost all of Congress is up for re-election, and just a few votes could set off dominoes that fundamentally alter the laws we live by for generations to come? Like they did in the 1986 midterms, when President Ronald Reagan's Republican Party lost 8 seats in the Senate. It cost them the majority, and thus their ability to support the Reagan agenda. That majority may never have been more important than the following summer, when Reagan got to pick a Supreme Court justice.
But it's with great pleasure and deep respect for his extraordinary abilities that I today announce my intention to nominate United States Court of Appeals Judge Robert H. Bork.
A U.S. Court of Appeals judge whose staunchly conservative credentials put civil rights and women's groups on high alert. Democrats declared war, and hyperbole was not off the table.
Robert Bork's America is a land in which women would be forced into back alley abortions, blacks would sit at segregated lunch counters, rogue police could break down citizens' doors in midnight raids, and school children could not be taught about evolution.
And so I don't think Reagan was prepared for the degree of opposition to his Supreme Court nomination.
Andrew Bush is a professor of history at Claremont McKenna College and the author of Horses in Midstream, a book focused on midterm consequences. He says 1987 ushered in a new era of partisan confirmations.
The liberal wing of the Democratic Party in the Senate went on the warpath and brought the rest of their members along with them.
After a brutal confirmation process, Bork was rejected by the Senate's new Democratic majority, and Reagan had to instead settle for a more moderate conservative, Anthony Kennedy, who would sit on the nation's highest court for 30 years.
But that one Supreme Court appointment, I think, made the difference between winning and losing on the different sides in a whole bunch of very important decisions that were 5-4 decisions.
Decisions that helped define society for decades. Kennedy shocked the nation in 1992 by upholding Roe v. Wade in a case conservatives believed would end nationwide abortion access right then and there. He shocked them again in 2016, siding with liberals and upholding race-based admissions at public universities. And he authored a series of landmark opinions during his career expanding gay rights, including the 5-4 decision in 2015 that guaranteed same-sex couples the right to marry. All those falling dominoes, which have touched tens of millions of Americans, can be traced back to a single midterm election in 1986, whose results can be traced back to the simple failure to turn out just a few thousand more votes in just a few key swing states.